Welcome Neffy to the stage. Yes.
Thank
I'm
you.
so happy to have you.
Thank
oh my
you.
gosh, it's been a long time coming.
It really has.
I've been inviting her every episode. But we ain't gonna talk about that.
I am here.
We ain't gonna talk about that. Nah, but look, we are talking about independent versus dependent women.
Yes.
So we want to talk about all the thoughts we have on this new day and age, how we are. Are we still keeping hold to the submissive, traditional type woman, the wifey that sit at home barefoot in the kitchen, cooking and cleaning and da. Or are we, solid boss lady, boss women, bossing up tight, or are we both?
Well, personally, I will say that I carried both traits. But in 2025, you have the boss lady. You have the independent. You have the go-getter. Now, I'll speak on a little bit about being independent prior to being a dependent person currently. Independence, of course, you have your own way of thinking. You have your own way of doing things. You don't need support from elsewhere, any man,
right,
any woman. But of course, you would still want to have that support from your family.
Right.
But yeah, when I was independent at a young time in my life, I most definitely just went on about my life and did everything on my own terms. Didn't give a rat's turd on who thought, who said, or anything concerning me. So now, being in my dependent era right now, I'm happy. I'll say I am in a healthy relationship. I'm not married, but I'll say I'm in a happy, healthy, dependent relationship.
Okay.
I don't know why some people, they use the stigma, oh, you're dependent, you that's bad. That's bad. It's really not. I am a dependent on where I am. I'm in school. I am stacking my money. I am more in tune with my family now. So it's a lot of ways and a lot of things that by being dependent can be a good thing in 2025.
I personally don't see it as bad at all. Being dependent in the way that you just described it is not so much of the bad side of being dependent at all. That's still very much so both sides still going because you're still in school, you're still stacking your bread, you're still doing things with your family and carrying on your actual independent life while still in a dependent position.
Yes.
So, and that's where I was speaking with the last guest because I'm in a position where I can sit back and chill, relax, and sit my little,
Yes, ma'am.
right, and everything will be cool in the gang. However, it's just my personal opinion towards it won't allow me to sit down.
Right.
I don't know. It's my mama in me. It makes me be that go getter. And I come from a very much so independent mom. And my step grandmother was also like that. She, God rest her soul, she was I'm every woman. Like Whitney used to say, I'm every woman, but I'm the wife.
Yes.
And that's what I try to gain and take from because yes, I have my strong mama, and my mama actually has thoughts that are not the same as me. She'd be looking at me crazy sometimes because she feel like I'm doing too much. And I'm like, what you want me to? That's who I
Understood.
am.
That's the
You
independent
created
mentality. Yes,
me.
ma'am.
You made me this way, ma'am. I hate to break it to you. It's all you. But
Your
anyway,
genes.
but it's not in a sense where that I'm not also dependent,
Right.
because I definitely take trips that he is all paying for it, baby. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Cha-ching.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely that woman too, to take trips woman, but I make sure that I have what I have.
Yes.
And it's not in a sense of, oh, I don't want to be, in case it ain't in that sense, in case it's just who I am.
Yes.
And I think that part, if a lot of the new day women had that mentality, regardless of the fact, then we wouldn't be in positions where we left our back, we are back at mama house, or we back at the same position we was in before, where we need that needy is for the birds. We are sitting here to be a help to the man.
Yes. Yes.
And the thing is, how can we be a help if we ain't bringing nothing to the table at all? Now, yes, there are men, and this is my next question. There are men that have the mentality, I don't want my wife to work.
Right.
What she doing working? If she working, I ain't no man. Now, I'm cool with that if it didn't come with a womanizing, manipulative type thought behind it.
Yes. Yes.
Because a lot of those men, and I'm not saying all, don't come in my comments, because I'm not saying all men is like that. I'm saying there are about 75%, maybe 80%, that have this thought that if I'm taking care of you, I run you.
No, not at all.
That has been the new thing, and it's a lot of these young girls getting into domestic situations,
Yes.
having all kind of toxicity going on in their life, where they just completely losing themselves in their men.
Yes.
And now everything you're now chasing a thought of what you used to be.
Right.
So, what are your thoughts on that? I know that was a very broad.
That was really good.
My bad.
Now, to piggyback off of what you were saying about losing yourself within a man, when you were talking with your other guests before, prior to me, you were talking about living with a man, being inside a relationship. Now, you're married. I'm not. I am with a man that takes care of 80% of everything. I still go to work. I still go to school. I still do my, what, as they say, 50%. And we both are still being able to have that space to come together and talk. Talk about things on, okay, so what are we doing about our finances? Okay, what are we doing about school? What are we doing about us cleaning and cooking? I come home from work and he in the kitchen cooking.
Okay. Right.
I am, yes, sir. At that moment right there, I don't know why women be, submissive this and submissive that. He's in the kitchen cooking. I just came home from work. I'm about to take my butt inside that shower, get ready, and be submissive to my man.
Right. If he's the king, he's the king.
If he's showing you that he can lead.
Okay. And that's that. And I'm glad for you. I swear I am. But it is so many others that take everything you doing and do that to people that is not worthy. They're not worthy at all. And then now we in situations where we gotta call mama and daddy. We gotta, it's something now where I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with my children now, or it's even got to the point where it is very much so domestic violence.
Yes.
And then when it gets to that point, now sometimes we done sheared so far away from mama and daddy and them, we can't even go to mama and daddy and tell them what done happened.
What's going on?
Because now we gotta bear the shame of, I told you so.
Yes.
didn't I tell you?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yes.
And so instead of bearing that shame, you take it. Because you feel like I can do it. I can change him. We can become this. We can become that. And now we are in a position where he is controlling your entire life, and we're not even realizing it.
Mm.
But yeah. So that's
Wow.
a whole
Yeah,
nother. I'm
that's
sorry.
yes.
We getting real deep on that. My bad. My bad.
Mm-hmm,
But
mm-hmm.
all right. So now we're gonna get into what do you feel about the 50-50? The
50-50.
new stigma. It's been all over social media.
Yes.
We going 50-50 until you, and not even, it ain't, I would say it to you, my wife, but I've seen it as my wife too. When we get married, I'm letting you know now, this is how we're doing things.
Oh, yeah.
Now, what I say, I'm going to say a quick little thing on that.
Mm-hmm.
My personal opinions to it could be negative, yes. However, if it's not in that way we were just talking about where, you know, the woman still has to be this and stuff. I ain't even saying that right. If it's not in a way where the woman is paying 50-50, like Sierra was saying,
Mm-hmm.
the woman's paying 50-50 and she's still giving 100% of what a wife does.
Mm-hmm.
As long as it's not in that way, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and knock people that do it. If it's healthy for you,
Right.
it's healthy for you.
Yes,
because sometimes order is what's needed.
Yes. Yes.
And that could be perfectly fine. It could work out wonderful for you. But if it's not because of order, and it's just simply because he just
wants
trifling.
to control you, and you're
right.
trifling. You just want to just
trifling. You want
live
this
in a
woman
situation.
to basically be all this submissiveness, everything she cook clean 7 days a week, and still got to work a 40-hour shift to pay half these bills, and all you do is go to work, come home, and go to sleep. What about that, my dear?
See, now in my situation, now I'm gonna be broad about it though. My situation, he doesn't work, but yet he still provides. He still provides with, like I said, 80% of everything financially, cooking, cleaning.
So he got a bag, basically.
Yeah.
So he in a position where he don't have to.
He's in a
necessarily
position
work,
where he's
but
able to help build me as well.
Okay.
And we're both in a space where we're building each other.
Mm-hmm.
Help him get to a higher level, help me to get to a higher level as well.
Right.
But 50-50, we go 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
We go 50-50 on groceries.
Mm-hmm.
But yet he goes 80 and I go 20 on rent.
Mm-hmm.
We go 50-50 on like vacations.
Mm-hmm.
But for like, you know, trips and stuff, he'll pay for just all the tickets. And I'll do the luxury things that we do when we get to the place. Right. You know, so, you know, little things that we, like I said, we have a system.
Right.
As long as you have a system with, you know, I'm not going to say the right man because you never know who's the right one for you. So as long as you have that understanding and that system with a healthy person that wants to grow with you, then I feel like 50-50
could work. Yeah, it could. In a healthy situation, it could. Like if it's needed just to have order to things and to make sure, you know, we are both growing and we're both doing, and neither one is using.
Right.
Because a lot of the men have been used and abused to a point where, and I do have to shout out to my men for this, which I normally don't. I'm normally, you know, for the woman, you know, hold the women down. But there is a pocket of men that have been used and abused to the point where, no, I'm at a point now where we need to make sure ain't nobody just sitting down.
Right.
Ain't nobody just sitting on their tail doing nothing and I'm going out here slaving every day. I get that. I get that. And I shout out to all the healthy men that is in that space.
Yes.
But it's so hard to determine which space you're in.
You're right.
Because they come with a good talk game. Let's talk about the talk game. The talk game is more of a way of manipulating the situation to the point where you are all in 100% and they're only 25. But you don't really realize that they're 25 because their talk is at 100.
Yes.
it has
Yes.
gotten to a point where, especially if you're in a position where you're not all the way where that person is yet.
Right.
This person is up here, you're at here, but you're trying to get there. So the way that that person talks to
Mm-hmm.
you can sometimes make you feel
Feel
like
less
you
than.
gotta pull he gotta pull you up
Mm-hmm.
versus and not to say that it is, like I said, if it's healthy and it's real, I'm all for it. But there are moments that you don't know
Yeah.
if it's healthy or real.
You're right.
And this whole time, this nigga been playing me. Like it could be
It could
a
be that too. Yes.
situation,
Most definitely.
and then in that moment, now you realizing, okay, do I leave? What do I do in this predicament? Because I still need him a little bit.
I'm gonna go ahead and say this. Piggybacking off of my dependent and my independent mindset,
Right.
I am more so independent than a dependent person.
Right.
So in any situation, I'm gonna always fall back to being that independent person.
Right.
Period. So if I feel like any inkling of a man that's like talking down at me or make me feel less than or any of that sort, and also show action, because the talk for me is I've grown a backbone to
Right.
to certain talk. So it's more than a talk, and you can break me down.
Right.
So if you show me behind your talk, then there should be an action on my behalf.
Right.
At that moment, with your first guest just said was telling about I know she was saying about oh, the women out here, if you're going to use a man, use them until it's done.
Right.
Me, like I told you, I am still an independent person mentally. At times, I can go back to that thinking. I don't really need you.
Right.
I really don't. So either we're here together or we're not.
Right.
And there's tests and certain things that we do test each other on
Right.
whether or not if we still want to if we want to be in this thing for real.
Right.
Not no 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Right.
So it's gonna be it's times where we have to sit down and when he's angry and he's talking at you, not to you.
Right.
There's a difference to a man where he realizes that and like catches himself like, oh, whoa, hold on, babe. This is not the relationship that I want for us. So this is what I'm trying to portray. This is what I'm trying to tell you, but I'm animate about it because this is serious. This is real because I want this for the both of us. So it's going to be times where, I'm like, all right now, hey,
Right.
You can go.
Very much so. But
I can do this by myself.
Right.
And has been ever since.
Right.
So at times, that's why I say at times where, I still have that independent mindset, dependent mindset. But yeah, I still kind of like, all right, I'll let him take the lead. I let him take the lead because I know it's the better good for myself.
Right.
I know that it's going to do good for me.
Right.
And my family, eventually. So that's my thoughts on that.
By all means, like I said, if he's healthy, and that order has came where you guys have a set way of living, that is kudos.
It took a minute. It took 10 years.
Yeah, I'm aware.
It took 10 years. Okay.
We have history. I understand. My last thought I did want to go into, when is it a point that we should hang up?
Are you talking about hanging up a jersey?
Oh, Lord.
I ain't talking about hanging up a jersey. Please tell me that's what you're talking about.
Oh, my God. When do you think, now I still haven't figured out this. And I've been married for going on 16 whole years now.
Yeah.
And I do not know if I'll ever be able to hang up my masculinity. And it's not And I know a lot of people have the thoughts of if you have to be like that, that's the man fault. No, in my
No.
predicament, it really ain't. Because my man is
Oh,
overly
okay.
masculine.
That's King Kong.
King Kong ain't got
Okay.
nothing on him. Right.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am. Talk about it.
But true talk though, for real. So it's not in that aspect for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that I have to. It's just that's who I am.
So are
But do
you
you
saying that you
think
can't be
that it's
feminine?
No. I think we have 16 years for a reason.
Okay.
It's
Right.
definitely. I have the feminine side where it needs to be,
Okay.
but there are thoughts like my mom. I told you, me and my mom don't have eye to eye on some things, and it's just like a little about 10%.
Okay.
And there are thoughts that I am still too much of, that
Yes.
law around this mug. I'm a Leo too. So I have this controlling side I'm fully aware of. Nobody has to say anything. But, I'm fully aware of the controlling side. And in the intimacy of marriage, there is really not so much. I don't want to say it's not a place for it, because it's a small place for it. But technically speaking, it's not. You can end up just like Eve. Eve it was so masculine to the point where she made her husband say, "Hey, she's running the." And I know it sounds messed up, and a lot of people might not agree. It might not be agreeable, but she kind of slick ran the show, and that's how both. I eat the apple here, you go eat the apple too.
Yes, that's really how it was.
And that is how a lot of us women, we have adapted to this mothering.
Yeah.
And we're more of a mother to our husband versus a wife.
Wow. Yeah.
I am struggling. I ain't gonna sit here and say I don't struggle in that area.
Okay.
My husband tell me all the time, you are my lawyer, my doctor, my mother, my teacher, my pharmacist.
Okay.
I literally, and I take pride in it when he say it, because I be laughing or whatever. I take pride. Yes.
And it's, all of it in a bag of chips.
But really and truly, do you think that there is a time where we're supposed to hang it up?
Yes, I do. I do. The reason why I say that is because I'm not married, but I mean I do. Eventually, I would want to get married, but I want to be married in a sense of knowing who knowing that person is really for me.
Right.
Really for me. So I'm just pretty much just in a dating scene. But to answer your question, I had put up my masculinity, my masculine ways by becoming. The reason why I say I put up my masculine ways is because the man that I am living with is a man that leads, and a man that is showing the women that she don't have to be masculine. Right. In this household, you ain't gotta show that, because why are you doing it? I am here. So that gives me a space where I'm feminine. That gives me a space where I'm doing my hair, doing my nails, my makeup, this and that. I'm making sure when I come home, I'm getting inside that shower. I'm making sure I'm good, I'm clean. He got all the hard work. I don't need to be touching that, because he don't want that. All right, okay, cool. Babe, you sure? I know I can handle it though. I can handle this, babe. No, I got it. Let that be. Because honestly, right now I'm in a good place in my life. I really am. I thought I wouldn't be with this person. But it took him. It took God, honestly. Well, it took the whole situation,
right?
To actually come about, because he gave up. He gave up things to be with me. He left a whole complete state to be with me. He left, he gave up, left, turned down, foreclosed, you know what I'm saying? Did all of these things so he can be able to give me space where I can be feminine, where I can be a woman that he would love, cherish, and adore for the rest of his life. Because that's what he's looking for. Is he wants to settle down. So it's like, okay, I can be that. I can put up my little masculine jersey for right now.
I feel you. But technically, I mean, for me, well, I don't know how to say it in a good way. I could put it up.
Yeah.
But it's only there for the moment because I pick it up all the time. And it's not because I have to. It's just because, like I said, I have no choice. I was raised by nothing but lioness women.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
But is that a mechanism though? Is it like a defense where it's like, I see that he got it, but nah, I gotta do it too.
No, because I've definitely, like I said, I have chilled.
Okay.
Multiple times. My daughter was just an example. Baby, I came a long way. Waffle House was Waffle House. No, we ain't even gonna talk about this. Well, one point is, I came a long way. I want always this boss. I've always been boss up here.
Yes, always, yes.
But financially, it took some time to get where I am.
Yes.
Now I am at a place where if you was to, skedaddle, see you later.
Deuces.
But at first, it was just in my mind. It was definitely in my mind. I was working towards it,
Hey, okay.
It hadn't, manifested yet. But it was
but
there.
You're here now.
But the crazy thing is, even then, I would have made it happen.
Of course.
Even
yes,
then,
because it started with the mind first.
Right. Even then, I would have made it happen with nothing in my bank. With not one dime. Not even a job. Understand, this is who I was raised by.
Let's talk about it.
You get what I'm saying? When I say I was raised by a true independent woman. And in all aspects.
Me too, yeah.
In the aspect what Sierra was talking about, we'll get that nigga for that money, nigga.
Yeah.
In that aspect.
Yes.
In the aspect, we'll go to work three jobs at the same time.
Yes.
In the aspect, it's start all the businesses you want to start.
Yes.
All of those aspects, like I seen a fully rounded situation with my mom. And that created a fully rounded situation with me. But thank God for my grandmother that showed me how to do both.
Yes.
And that's it. Thank you. We're going to wrap it up. We want to thank you for coming to iUnify. Yes.